I even unmuted the mic.
You looked.
I did. I looked.
You did look.
And I unmuted the mic. And I am doing spectacular right now. Hi, guys. Oh, my word.
It has been an afternoon.
It's been a day.
Well,
It has been a day. I'll tell you that. But the show must go on, right? The show must go on. And if it's Monday at 8 o'clock, then it's Mighty Monkeys Nerd World Weekly. And here we are. My name is Chris, and this with me is the ever vivacious and slightly pale. Have you not been out in all the sun we've had lately? Her name's Tanya, by the way. Let me finish the introduction first. Are you all right? You okay? Go over there? You all right? You good?
Yeah, well, the thing is, I'm still at work inside a classroom doing stuff. And tomorrow's graduation, and I'm hoping to be able to get outside a little bit tomorrow.
Congratulations. What are you doing after graduation? You're gonna go? You're taking up another degree somewhere else?
No, it's high school graduation.
Oh, it's a high school graduation. It's taking you this long to graduate from high school?
Right? Yeah.
I thought you were like.
I know.
I thought you were like 30-something.
I know. I am 30-something. One of the kids said I was 30-something.
Hi, John. Good to see you.
Thought that I was 30-something.
Yeah, you were telling me the other day.
So.
That story pops up every couple of years. Yeah. You have a student who doesn't understand.
They have like no clue of
no way to gauge.
Age. Yeah.
I've been getting through the ringer today. Anyway, life is good.
Well, granted, thanks for the fixing the camera.
I know. I had to do some dancing there, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
This is great. The new camera is great, but every so often it just gives up.
It goes
and it goes like blurry.
Oh.
And then there's just no saving it. You get like.
It's kind of like when you first wake up in the morning and you don't have your glasses on.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm familiar with that. Yeah. Just checking in before he goes back to work. Andy Senior, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're having a good day so far.
Yeah. So. But
shall we do a recap of what we're talking about or what we're doing, and then we'll get to what we're talking about? Did that make sense?
Well, we watched
I need a cookie.
Movie in...
I don't have any.
Huh?
I don't like those.
The chocolate chip one's on brown, unless it's crumbs. It's crumbs.
We did watch a movie like we usually do.
And we watched a 2 hour and 41-minute movie
in like
2 hours and 20 minutes.
No, we chopped a chunk of it. I think I'd say a 2 hour, 45-minute movie in about a little less than 2 hours because we were looking for the parts that the one character was in.
Right.
But then we would get stuck watching the movie itself because it was really a good movie nonetheless.
Mm-hmm. And I had forgotten a lot about the movie.
What's up, Jason? And yeah, you forgot you even saw it. I thought that was interesting.
I know, just like me, I don't remember. I remember seeing the movie, but I don't remember seeing certain parts of the movie. And I'm like, oh, really? Oh, okay. But
sorry.
So
something got in my eye, and it's been bothering me for days.
Yeah,
it's been wild.
They seem a little bloodshot. Is it this one?
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems a little bloodshot on the.
Hey, Peter.
So, we put our pool steps in yesterday.
Congratulations. I know that's always a fun adventure.
I sent the 16-year-old in.
Now I have to ask, which pool? You had
no, that's drained away. Yes, not our pond.
We had the massive rainstorm in the background
last
Wednesday. And I didn't see much of it up in my part of the city, but this poor thing, her back, most of your backyard was like.
It went this far up onto our shed.
You had Lake Metris.
It submerged our shed a little bit. No, so I sent Riker into the pool. So Randy and I lifted the steps in, and he had to guide them into place.
All right.
So
that's good.
He cannonballed trying to get my mom wet yesterday.
Good luck with that.
He didn't succeed.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't.
He was trying. It was funny.
So we're going to do a quick rundown of what we got coming up at you. It's September 12th, 13th, and 14th, the Total Sports Experience in Gates.
Less than 3 months.
Less than 3 months away.
I got work.
If you have not yet filled out your volunteer application, what's keeping you? Go out to the website, click on the apply button, click under volunteer. That application is wide open and has been for quite some time. I will love to be working with you. Anyway, let me just go ahead and bring this up real quick. Actually, I'm going to go figure. Boom, There she is. One of our headliners, Amy Acker, from Gifted, from Angel, from Alias, from Person of Interest, and several other things. She'll be appearing both Saturday and Sunday, and along with her will be the inimitable presence of DB Woodside, also from the Buffyverse, from 911, Lone Star, from The Night Agent, also very famous from his run in Lucifer, among several several other things. I'm looking forward to meeting the both of them.
I've seen The Night Agent, but I don't remember seeing him in it. So I think I'm going to have to go back and
You're going to have to rewatch that again too. Yeah, it's a good series.
I started watching Person of Interest. I'm just like, I don't know. So.
Love DB as Melvin Franklin in the Temptations biopic. Yes, he was in that as well. Good call, James. Thank you for that. All right, moving on through the list, we have Kaylee McKee, voice actress, writer, world builder, and artist. I'm very much looking forward to meeting her. Along with Kaylee will be Megan Hollingshead, a voice actress, also cartoon illustrator, writer, and musician Guy Gilchrist. We have Jeff Klein with us, as we always do pretty much every year. I'm excited to see Jeff once again. It's great to have him with us. We have Michael Golden, artist, writer, consultant, and designer, as well as Renee Witterstater, also a writer, editor, and color artist. This is going to be a very good show. To cut you guys off, as per usual, are there any other guest announcements?
Yeah.
No, not yet. As we've said on several occasions, we are terrible at keeping secrets. As a matter of fact, like with DB Woodside, we announced him on Monday, on a Monday a couple of weeks ago. We had the contract signed Sunday night. So it was one of those things where, like, we can't hold on to the secret. We have to tell people this is so exciting. And so we told you the next day. So as soon as we know what we're doing, we always share it with you because we're just terrible liars and can't keep secrets. That's the long and the short of it. Are we still talking to other people? Yeah, we're going to see if we can work something out. Not telling you who, although it does rhyme with smart camel. No one.
You were trying that.
One of these days, I'm going to be right. Nobody's going to believe me. It's going to be the little boy who cried wolf. Right. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Only if he shows up in a cosplay that we don't know that it's him.
That would be amazing too. That would be fun.
Whatever.
That would be fun. So what's the next secret? The next secret is that
we have a secret.
I love you, Jim. You're my favorite.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's actually a secret or not. But so tonight, we are actually been asked to have some predictions about two upcoming properties. One's starting tomorrow, the other one's coming up in just a few weeks in July. So we're going to be talking about Ironheart and the Fantastic Four First Steps. So Ironheart's kind of fresh in our mind right now because we're just watching Wakanda Forever.
Right.
And reacquainting ourselves with the introduction to Riri Williams and the character. You get Mark Hamill, and I'm going to crap my pants.
Yeah.
Jim, I am seriously going to stop trying to get Mark Hamill just to avoid that particular thing right now. That is not encouraging me to go for it, dude. That's not encouraging me. Let's see. I can't believe the con is tomorrow, and they're still trying to troll us with that Mark Hamill will be their prank. Yeah, seriously. That's the thing that could happen. You never know. Anyway. So a few years ago, in the comic books themselves, we were introduced to the character of Riri Williams. She showed up in Ironheart Volume number 1 and the Invincible Iron Man Volume 4. This was by Brian Michael Bendis and Stefano Castelli. And that was back in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
She was a little bit of a controversial figure. There's a lot of people who are looking forward to seeing what. There's always somebody who's excited to see a new character, but you get that ragtag handful of folks that are like, "Oh, why do you have to do that? It's not necessary." Marvel going woke, all that other nonsense. And it's just the usual silliness. We get to see Riri Williams for the very first time in Wakanda Forever, as she is introduced to the MCU through basically she kind of haphazardly creates she creates something that creates the whole plot line moving forward.
If you haven't seen Wakanda Forever, go watch it.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a very touching movie. It was the first movie that came out from the MCU after the passing of actor Chadwick Boseman. It really does a very deep and touching tribute to him, and shows how you handle grief from different cultures, but then does this great job of what are the words I'm looking for, of wrapping all of these different things together. Jim's asking about Johnny Young Bosch. We're not talking about guests anymore, but I will step back to say we have talked about Johnny Young Bosch on several occasions. Johnny is one of our go-to first folks every year. He always seems to have something going on in September already booked. But we stayed in touch with him anyway, and one of these days we might try to bring him in. I'm not going to talk about guests anymore. We're going to get to the show. So
stop asking.
Yes, you can ask. I'm just not going to answer.
You can't help yourself to answer.
We have to communicate with the fans, right?
So therefore, stop asking because he'll have to answer.
I'll have to keep stopping.
Yes.
Stopping.
Elizabeth wants to rewatch
Wakanda
Wakanda Forever Before Tomorrow, but it makes me cry.
It is a very moving film, but really in the overall.
Fast forward through.
We did fast forward large chunks of it because we were just looking for the Riri Williams parts because we wanted to see how they were interpreting the character. And I wanted to get to the end because I wanted to see, because I know that they, spoilers, they help her build a suit to help with the climactic final battle, and it's a really cool thing. But I was wondering if they let her keep it, and the answer was no. She did not get to keep it.
She's like, it needs to stay here. Okay.
Yeah. So,
but she got her,
and she understood. She didn't fight. She didn't fight back. She understood. She was totally cool with it. So we are going to be getting a looks like a six episode miniseries on Disney Plus starting tomorrow.
3 episodes tomorrow.
3 episodes tomorrow, and then in about a week or two, and then 3 more episodes.
3 on July 1st.
So basically, the whole season is going to drop in a matter of a couple of weeks. So you're going to get a chance to enjoy that story that is going to be coming out.
Elizabeth says, I do love all Riri scenes, though, especially when she first meets Shuri and Okoye. I know. I was just saying. I was just thinking that same one where she's like, "Oh, my shade, you're ashy on the thing." And it's like 2440, and I'm just like
banter back and forth about the makeup.
I'm just like,
that's a thing. Jim, I like that. Yeah, I'm with you. It felt a little kind of like making her part of the plot rather than making her a character in Wakanda Forever. So I'm looking forward to seeing the Ironheart series to see what kind of depth they put into the character. That's the important part. I mean, here's the thing. We can circle all the way back to Ms. Marvel and Ms. Marvel's first live action series on Disney Plus. And they did such a great job of focusing on the young lady, the character, the girl herself. And the actress they found brought such life and such energy to that character. It was so much fun to watch. So I really hope they give this young lady an opportunity to just be Riri Williams, right? Let her rip and see what happens. I think that would be an amazing thing. I don't love them rushing through the season, to be honest. They did the same thing to Echo, and it feels icky to me. I liked the Echo series, though, so I know they rushed through it a little bit, but I feel like they told the story they wanted to tell. So here's hoping, Elizabeth. I understand what you're saying, but I'm wondering if it's not something to be overly concerned with. And James is not going to tolerate Ms. Marvel slander in my vicinity, and I'm with you. Iman Vellani is an incredible young actress, and I just love her dearly.
She's got an infectious smile.
She really does. She basically, she really is Ms. Marvel. She really is Kamala Khan when it goes right down to it. But let's circle back.
Or twinsies.
We have Dominique Thorne is going to be playing Riri Williams. She's reprising her role from Wakanda Forever. I think what was so interesting is how natural she was in the scenes that she first started out as, how natural she was in responding to reacting to everybody, seeing the immensity of the situation in front of her, but not being overly daunted by it. She was not. She was afraid, right? But she was also in possession of courage to balance that out. She wasn't just, oh my God, everything is like you just said. But there was a whole lot of let's get to it, let's build something, let's make something, let's work problem. I saw that in it. That was good. Jim goes on to say, I hope they did better with development than they did with She-Hulk. I really wanted them to delve into the character building with her more. I do too, but I think they were trying to make a point with She-Hulk too. They were trying to show you they could do different genres and different vibes within the MCU. The MCU is the Marvel comic book universe is this massive canvas, and you can tell so many different types of stories, using all these different types of characters, and you can do it all in the same universe. You can have the fantastical space sci-fi with the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Eternals. You can have the street level detective work of Daredevil. You can have the struggle of what it's like to be a regular, like an up and coming teenage boy with Spider-Man. You have the diversity and attacks on all of the social issues with X-Men, and there's just so many different things to do. And I think they wanted just to show the humor that She-Hulk could bring to the equation. I think they did a decent job of that, but there was some. I'm with you, James. I think there was some jump the shark moments, or almost jump the shark moments in the She-Hulk series. And I see Elizabeth says She-Hulk is still my favorite Disney Plus Marvel show. There was a lot of charm to it. There really was. I can't take that away. And excuse me. There was a lot of charm there. There was a lot of really good humor. But there was also some moments where it was like, really? Did they go there? Like in the finale when it was just complete fourth wall shattering. And I know that's right out of the comic book. I know that's purely out of the comic book. So I'm not going to be like, I hated it. But it really kind of threw me off. It took me out of the show when they did that. And I felt a little ouch on it. Elizabeth goes on to say, though, with Echo, it at least saved me from seeing the Daredevil Dude Bros whining about where Matt was every week, like they did when She-Hulk was coming. Yeah, there's that. They did make that count. So Andy Jr. sent us some questions. What do we think of the trailers we've seen so far? Now we've only seen the one for Riri Williams for Ironheart. We only saw the 1 2-minute kind of closer look. I didn't see any trailers. I know you watched them.
Right, I watched the trailers today. Right. So I hadn't watched them until today. So that's made me, I'm like, okay. Then I saw that she was in Wakanda Forever, which I had forgotten about because it's been like forever since we've seen it. What was it? That was what, 2017? So 8 years ago.
No, 2017 was when the Ironheart Volume 1. 2022 was Wakanda Forever.
Sorry, I don't have my glasses on.
Well, there they are. They're right.
I know.
They're sitting in.
How did that look like 2017? I have no idea.
You were looking at the 2017 over here on the other line.
Oh. So, but I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, let's see. Then I went and looked and say, how long is Black Panther Wakanda Forever? And I'm like, oh, do you think we can? It's 5:15. Do you think we can get a 245-minute movie done before 8 o'clock?
Jim, did you see the 2-minute special look on Disney Plus, or was it a separate trailer like on YouTube or something like that? I'm curious because I didn't see any trailers myself. I just saw the closer look on Disney Plus when we were first sitting down to watch them. Why they call them trailers? Because they don't want to call them semis. Damned if I know. Because they didn't want to call him George.
I would think that trailers would come after the fact.
Yeah, well.
Trailers.
Okay, you ready? This is how deep my nerddom goes. And I can't confirm this or not. Well, they used to call them teasers. They call them teasers and previews and whatnot. But trailers were because they were what trailed after the newsreel in preparation for the feature film coming up.
Oh.
And now I will admit that was some urban legend that I had learned way back when I was in college. So I don't know how accurate that really is, but that's always kind of stuck with me. At this point, I sort of don't watch trailers if I know I want to see something. They give too much away. So, yeah, that's been a thing lately where trailers in the past, I'd say in the past 20 years, trailers have just done more to tell you the whole movie than just to tease you and make you interested in seeing the actual show. Jim says, it was on YouTube and it was one where she's building the armor. Cool. I'm going to look for that. I want to see that.
Well, and going to the movies now, if the movie says that it starts at 6:15,
it's going to be 6:45 probably.
Most likely.
How many times have we sat there watching all of the previews and the trailers, and then it finally goes to the feature film?
What are we watching?
What are we watching again? I don't remember what we're here for.
Wait, what movie did we come see?
Yeah.
So
apparently there's a new Fantastic Four trailer on Wednesday, and I'm not, did I pronounce that right? Watching it. I'll watch the first trailer, then I'm done. Yeah, more like,
about 7 o'clock. Yeah. It's usually 20 to 25 minutes worth of teasers.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So speaking of Fantastic Four, that's the other one. Now, let's just wrap up our conversation about Riri Williams real quick. In what way do we think Ironheart will tackle race, class, and genius through its protagonist? What about compared to the Iron Man character? And who's directing it? Do we know who's directing it? He didn't write that part down, which I'm cool with. Let me just who directed Ironheart? is directed by Sam Bailey and Angela Barnes. So Sam Bailey directed the first 3 episodes, and Angela Barnes directed the final 3. Ryan Coogler's Proximity Media is also involved as producers, which is great because Ryan Coogler was behind Wakanda Forever, and brought her in. So he's kind of an expert on that one. And Coogler serves as executive producer. That's great. Now, I am not personally familiar with Sam Bailey and Angela Barnes. I'm sure both women are incredibly capable because the MCU does not screw around in hiring people, right? So that alone, if Marvel's satisfied with them, I am too. I won't say that.
So Andy was saying Shinaka Hodge is the showrunner. So what does that mean for showrunner?
Showrunner, I think Russell T Davies for Doctor Who. He's the showrunner. So he's the guiding force. He's going to be on the producer level, so she's going to be right up there with Ryan Coogler. And she's not writing every single episode. She's not directing every episode. She's not, in the nuance of everything, but she's making sure that she's there holding the vision together and making sure that everything is kind of flowing and there's continuity and there are no issues with how the story unfolds. I do love that Riri's actress originally auditioned for Shuri too. Very cute. Yeah, I thought and she did a great job in the Wakanda Forever movie. Really good names. So we got a vote from Jim. That's cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing this. I still want to see Coogler do an original sci-fi franchise. That would be cool. He's got a great imagination. I like that idea a lot. For television, the main creative force isn't the director like it is with the film, but rather it's the showrunner, also known as the head writer. So there you have it.
Okay.
Andy Jr. I think I'm going to talk to him about becoming the executive producer of Nerd World Weekly because he's just been so badass for us this entire time. But anyway, that's another conversation.
That's giving us something to do.
Oh, he's always been right on top with what we've needed when we've needed it. So that's kind of cool stuff.
Now, it says based on her previous TV work, what do we think of Hodge? What do we think Hodge will bring from her poetry and theater background to Ironheart's tone or dialect? I don't know which TV.
To my discredit, to my shame, I do not know enough about Ms. Hodge's work.
Correct. That's why I'm like, so this will be my gateway drug to Chintaka Hodge. And we will check out her other things. Yes. So when Ironheart's done, I want to learn more. I want to learn more. That's absolutely the right way to do it. Comparison? Yep. I'm just compare and contrast. So we're going to answer that question. Just not today. We can't do it tonight because we're so tunnel focused. So we don't see the broader world outside sometimes. And that's what that question is inviting us. Okay. So give them Star Wars. I want to see Coogler direct Star Wars like Wakanda Forever. Oh, there's a combination. That's a good idea. I like that idea. Shinaka Hodge did an episode of anthology series Amazing Stories called The Heat and the semi-anthology series The Midnight Club called Witch. I'm not familiar. Elizabeth Rice is not familiar with her work, but the guy who wrote the story and the engine also came from a playwright and poetry background, so it seems to translate well in terms of skill. Yeah. Oh, the story and engine, the Doctor Who episode this past season 2 was phenomenal. So yeah, if being a playwright and a poet is going to translate to this kind of a situation, I'm all for it because that's you've got the creativity and then the abstract vision, not just the vision, but you have an ability to look past and see lots of different characters and things like that, and how they intermingle and mesh and things like that. So we are going to put a pin in Ironheart for now, and we are going to jump over to F4. F4. Not a Twister sequel. F4 and not the key on your keyboard. And don't Alt F4 on this particular broadcast just yet. What does Alt F4 do? Alt F4 quits out on whatever is the active screen at the moment. Oh, that would be horrible. The popular in-joke when I used to play World of Warcraft, you'd see this in all the like the location chats, the region chats, and whatnot. Somebody would ask, "What's the key? What's the command to do this particular thing?" And somebody would invariably say Alt F4. And I'd say maybe 20% of the time that they would do it. Somebody would do it because they would come back a few minutes later complaining about the fact that it crashed their. No, I remember this one conversation in Ironforge where the kid's like, "It made me crash my computer. What's going on? I tried it again and it didn't work. Maybe my application's glitched." So people, of course, pounced on the poor kid and they're like, "Yeah, you should uninstall Warcraft and give it a couple of days." And it was just this cascading thing of basically of hazing. See, I would have Googled what Alt F4 does. Yeah.
All the Fantastic Four merch is going to drain my bank account. Poor Elizabeth Rice. I hear you on that one. My bank account's already kind of like me.
Over time, Elizabeth.
Right.
Ask for birthday and Christmas gifts.
So Friday, July 25th, 2025, only in theaters, director Matt Shankman, known for Cut Bank, WandaVision, Welcome to Chippendales, and Monarch, The Legacy of Monsters, a Godzilla movie. We have the Fantastic Four first steps. The first family of Marvel is finally joining the MCU. We have been waiting for this for such a long time. Such a long time. Yeah, Fox had it during the big, the 90s shakeup of Marvel, that kind of a thing. Already have the Herbie Loungefly backpack on the way. Should arrive tomorrow, and I'm going to make a Sue Storm outfit to go with it. Of course you are, Elizabeth. Love it. Absolutely love it. Starring none other than Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. Pedro, who is in everything these days. Pedro is the hardest working actor on the planet because he's in everything. I even think I saw him in some soap operas this afternoon. I don't know. I hear Billy D screaming for vindication since Galactic. It's Billy Notorious.
Book comes in.
You're getting a real Galactus. You're not getting
a
cloud because Galactus is not.
Did he look like a cloud in the comics?
No, never. The cloud thing was entirely for that one movie.
Oh.
They just didn't want to. They didn't want to commit to the large cosmic entity with the funny helmet and everything like that.
Okay.
So, yeah, Billy Notorious is about to get vindication because Galactus is not a cloud this time around.
I can see Billy going, it's not.
Yes. So, let me get the cast list up. It is a good cast. I'm going to Fantastic Four. Come on. Cast. There it is. Oh, sure. That's it.
That's the
Michael Chiklis, Chris Evans, Jessica Alba. No, not that one.
Wrong one.
Jesus. All right, so Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Eben Moss Backrack. I am telling you, I am looking forward to this. I had not heard of Vanessa Kirby before, so I'm looking her up and watching some of her stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, if you want somebody who can encompass Sue Storm, she's in. They've made the right call. MCU is really rarely ever misses with its casting. They nailed it with her. I'm not even going to bother talking about Pedro Pascal because, like I said, he's in everything. He's in everything for a reason, people. He's in everything for a reason. He is just good. Anyway, one weird thing with Fantastic Four is that the last time they tried to do a movie with them, the first teaser trailer used the music from Broadchurch, and it really threw me off. Vanessa Kirby was the original Princess Margaret in The Crown, and she is amazing. I am going to agree with you on that one, Elizabeth.
Will you click on her so I can see what else that she's possibly been in?
Yep. We're going to talk about Eden, Strange Case, Mission Impossible, The Crown. She was a young Princess Margaret in The Crown for quite a few episodes.
Oh,
Fast and Furious. She's even in a Fast and Furious movie. Come on.
Hobbs and Shaw. I saw that one.
The Frankenstein Chronicles. She's been in a couple of Mission Impossibles. Let's see.
Jupiter Ascending.
What do we got here? National Theater Live, Streetcar Named Desire. She was Stella. Anyway, you go far enough back, you will see a lot of classic names. Labyrinth, Great Expectations, The Hour. Those were all big names back in the early teens, the early 2010, early teens. There, with her as her little brother, the hothead Johnny Storm will be none other than Joseph Quinn, who his breakout character was in Stranger Things. He was Eddie, the rock star loving dungeon master. Who did you? You're not a big Stranger Things person.
I haven't finished it, but it's been so long since I've seen like the first.
He was in. Let's just put it this way: Eddie's big climactic final fight scene. He is standing on the top of a trailer in the underside. He's crossed over into that evil dimension that they were fighting in Stranger Things. Plugged in with an electric guitar, doing the guitar solo from Master Puppets Metallica. Just ripping. I mean, he just robes. He owned the character. He was the guy who stole the scene every time he was on camera in that particular series. So yeah, a lot of cool going on there. Mycroft Holmes, aka Mark Gaddis, popping up in the trailer was weird though. Never heard him talk an American accent before. The Brits are better at American accents than Americans are better at British accents. I'm just saying, it's a thing. We're weak at that. Joseph Quinn also played the deuteragonist. I don't know what that is. In A Quiet Place, Day One. Cool. I don't know what a deuteragonist is. That's the first time I've ever heard that word. Have they killed that show yet? Which one? Stranger Things? Its final season's coming out soon.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen.
Second lead role. Okay. Do protagonist. Got it. Co-protagonist would be another way of putting it, I think, but
thank you.
Often, but not always a love interest. Gotcha. Very cool.
I was going to look that up.
And then Evan Moss Backrack there.
Oh, John Malkovich.
John Malkovich is going to be in it?
Yes. Exactly what? I don't know, but John Malkovich is in there.
Oh, I heard about that. Yep. I heard that he was going to be in it. Nobody knows what I think he's going to be Galactus myself.
Yeah. Well,
I know they've already cast it as somebody else. So Evan has been in Rick and Morty, Bob's Burgers, so voice acting credits there. No Hard Feelings. Andor, he's been in Andor. Tesla. The Big Take.
Oh,
the Punisher
TV series
from 2017. Person of Interest.
The Last Ship. I've seen that.
The Last Ship. Is that the one with Eric?
Yeah, Eric Dane.
Eric Dane.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. God's Behaving Badly. I liked that one. I remember seeing that one. What else we got?
Fringe.
Medium. Fringe. Fringe was such a good show. So weird.
Just one episode. So like.
It's probably a step-in character kind of a thing.
Yeah.
The Lake House. That was a great. That was a good movie. I remember that one. Stealth. Not a great movie, but Jessica Biel. There you have it. Let's see what else we got here. Mona Lisa Smile. Boy, this goes way back. This guy's been around for a while.
He's been on several different Law and
The
Orders.
Royal Tenenbaums. That was a good
movie. Yeah. Andy just said that.
It's probably the first it's actually the only Wes Anderson movie I've actually liked so far. I have not seen the new one with oh my God, I can see his face, but I can't think of his name at the moment. Michael Cera's in it. And oh my God, who's playing the main character in this new Wes Anderson movie? Wow, my brain. I'm in my 50s. What do you want? I've seen David Tennant do an American accent too, and he's very talented, but American accents are not something he can do. Yes, I agree. Benicio del Toro. That's the name I was forgetting. Dear God, my brain. Anyway, I am too old for my own good. We have a longevity potion. I can knock a few years off his head.
So who's Herbie? What's Herbie?
Herbie is Reed Richards' assistant to the Fantastic Four. He's the little robot that's around. He was kind of like, it was funny because he was your really kind of your sci-fi, go-between. He was the personal assistant. Took care of the house. He was kind of like a valet, mobile computer kind of helper, and he's had different iterations throughout his lifetime with the Fantastic Four.
Kind of like Rosie from the Jetsons.
Yes, just smaller, really.
Kind of like a mouse droid.
Just no, bigger than a mouse droid, smaller than a Rosie.
Okay. Like Wall-E size?
It's gonna need 5 more minutes.
Wall-E size?
No, bigger than Wally. Not by much. Bigger than Wally. Okay. We're talking like taller than R2. Shorter than C-3PO. You got me doing that now. 5 more minutes. All right, Herbie was introduced in the 1970s to Patty Frayling Fantastic Four cartoon when the rights to the Human Torch were tied up with another animation company.
BB-8
size.
Yeah.
Definite Jetsons vibes to the entire aesthetic of the film.
Yes.
The world. Yeah, well, the whole thing's supposed to be set in the original era of Marvel, the 60s, I believe.
I could definitely tell by the sets and the clothes that it was like definitely 60ish, especially with the colors, because looking at that's like that sky blue that's in there, and I'm like, oh, and
the 60s
like
Art
the futuristic,
right?
Yes.
With the cathode ray tube TVs.
Oh, in the sunken living room.
The sunken living room was a big.
That's exactly what's in.
Big tell right there. So I am excited. This is going to be good. I am fairly certain. Anybody who says Marvel is back after this movie, Marvel never left. That's my 2 cents on that one. But this really feels like it's a home run waiting to happen. I really am getting the vibe. That is going to be my prediction for this particular movie. That we're going to see all of this weight, and that's the thing is, Marvel knows what they're up against. People have been clamoring for a proper Fantastic Four movie since The Incredibles.
Do it again.
I mean, that's the thing. The Incredibles, really, Pixar's Incredibles 2 was a better Fantastic Four movie than anything Fox put out in the past 20 years. You had all of the elements. Mm-hmm. It was all there. The classic Bond, everything, the different power sets, etc. They were just shuffled up a little bit, but it was still a Fantastic Four movie. It's essentially what you were looking at.
Because Violet could do the...
Yeah. She was force fields and invisibility. Dash was, your hothead, right? He was the speedster. Mm-hmm. Elastigirl was Mr. Fantastic, and then he's the Thing. Mr. Fantastic or Mr. Incredible is the Thing. So you had your four main power sets and shuffled up a little bit, and they addressed it like a Fantastic Four show, and it really worked. So everybody's been kind of holding their breath. As soon as the MCU got their hands on the Fantastic Four,
they're like,
now we got to do it. Now we got to see it. And will they do it right? Because now you have to weave them into the MCU that's already been established for 15 years at this point. So now you have to explain why the Fantastic Four hasn't been around in all this time, because people are going to be diving into that kind of minutia. Didn't Johnny Carson do a special back in the day for Marvel like the 80s? I don't remember that, Peter, but I have folks watching this particular stream right now who are probably going to be better at that question than I am.
We're looking at you, James.
Yep. It's entirely possible. Entirely feasible.
They're
not the same universe as the main MCU events at first, but if you see in Thunderbolts, it shows up in the post-credit scene. So, and they even say interdimensional ship detected. Interdimensional. So we have these pieces of a puzzle here, and we're going to have to see how this all fits together. Is the Fantastic Four in an alternate universe, though? Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness said they were big in the 60s. Yep, I picked up on that clue as well, Jim. Absolutely. So, okay, here's our prediction. Here's what we're saying right now is that the Fantastic Four is from an alternate universe.
Set in the
60s or a retro 60-ish kind of vibe. Something is going to happen,
of course,
by the end of the movie. We can say it's going to be as cataclysmic as their universe has been destroyed, or something went wrong when they were trying to save their universe. Regardless, they're going to jump the timelines, and they're going to slip into the MCU that way. So that's what we're going to see. And then you're going to see their arrival being reacted to by Avengers, New Avengers, Thunderbolts, whatever the hell, all these other people are going to show up. But I think that is when you're really going to start seeing a whole new phase of the MCU start to unravel and open up like a lotus flower in bloom. Please tell me you thought that was funny. Please.
Yeah, I'm like, yes.
Legitimize my feelings. Anyway, part of me does hope they get Chris Evans back as Johnny for one of the Avengers movies, just for the looks on Sam and Bucky's faces. That would be interesting. I think.
The mouth on him.
Yeah, that would be kind of wild. I mean, they hinted at. I think they hinted at that joke already, though, in Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't know if they'll pull it a second time. That's the thing. When you already get the whole Chris Evans is there. Deadpool's like, oh, he's going to say the thing. He's going to say the thing. He's going to say it, and then flame up. That's not what I expected, right? So there's the fourth wall awareness kind of a thing of the actor. Right? Yeah, he was looking for Avengers Assemble. He got flame on.
But Chris Evans' Human Torch got deconstructed. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of his variants did. Yeah, right, all of them. Right, because can't say all of them did.
Because of the TV show Loki.
Right.
There's variants of them all over the place.
Right. They could pluck one from another universe. Exactly. So they also need to see Sam and Bucky react to multiple Spider-Man. That would be hilarious. Like, oh God, there's more of them. That kind of thing. What do we think of the film featuring Shia LaBeouf as the Silver Surfer instead of Norrin Rad? What themes will the character represent? I like it. I actually am familiar with the comic books, the story arc where Shala was the Silver Surfer and not Norrin Rad. And if I'm not mistaken, Shala is actually Norrin's wife.
Okay.
And one of the subplots of this movie coming up is that you will be introduced to Franklin Richards. They're Reed and Sue's son.
Okay.
So Sue is going to be pregnant and delivered during the course of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have Shala, who took over as the Silver Surfer to protect her family, to protect her world, as Norrin did. So one mother to another. And it's really going to establish that Sue is not just the heart of the team. She really is the glue that holds all four of them together.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to see mom versus mom. I think that's going to be a very interesting dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to wonder if Shala is actually the villain or not, is essentially what I'm thinking.
It's Mama Bear versus Mama Bear.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's going to be interesting. And while we're at this.
Mother had to get a proper brawling sassy rogue, dang it.
Yeah, when X-Men come out, I'm hoping for a proper full-powered rogue. And you are right, James. Anna Paquin got robbed because she should have been a lot more than we got. And I think Anna Paquin would have been quite up to the task of handling that kind of a role.
The power set is stolen from Captain Marvel with Rogue's power stealing. You want her to drain Captain Marvel's powers? ? That would put her in a coma.
Well, Captain Marvel bounces back from that and then runs off to the stars to go do what Captain Marvel does best, police the stars. So as much as I love Captain Marvel, she is one of my favorite characters in the MCU and the Marvel Universe altogether, comic book as well. I think that's a story that needs to happen for you to get the X-Men, the proper X-Men, including a full-powered rogue. That's going to happen. As much as I'm not happy with it, it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. I think that's just the thing. Vanessa said there might be elements of malice in her portrayal too. Yeah. I'm hoping when X-Men comes out, Beast is still played by the same actor, Kelsey Grammer. Well, you see that cameo at the end of the Marvels.
Yes.
Where he's definitely he's voicing the CGI character. So that's kind of cool. I hope that's definitely a good playthrough that I would like to see as well, Jim. I'm all about that. That's definitely a thing. See, look at us. We're not too bad at production or prediction episodes after all. I was worried about that.
Me too, because...
You tired?
Yes.
All right. So how effectively do we think these stories will lead into and build anticipation for future Marvel releases, particularly Avengers Doomsday?
Well, his name was on the chairs for Doomsday.
Yeah. His name was on the chairs for Doomsday. Kelsey Grammer. Yeah. So I know that he's probably going to be at the very least voicing Beast again. I would say Kelsey is, he's older, man, but he's still in pretty good shape. I think he could even do mocap. I know you're not going to stick him in the makeup like he did in the Fox movies. I think they're going to continue being a CGI character, but he could do the mocap for it at the very least because he has the presence for it. So I think that's a feasibility. So I am looking forward to all of this. And I think this is going to be a nice burst of adrenaline into the MCU that we've been wanting. I've enjoyed everything. I don't think there's an MCU property that I have not liked. There's been some that are a little weaker than others, but I've loved them all. And I'm looking at you, Thor: The Dark World, and Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm looking at you guys. I still love you though. Okay, in my heart of hearts, right here. So, am I going to wait? Hold my breath. No, it's terrible. It's still a long way away yet. There's never going to be another Magneto like Ian McKellen. Well, we don't know. Got to give somebody a chance. Ian McKellen cannot do the part forever, unfortunately. But we can but hope. Inhumans was pretty rough, to be honest. Yeah, well, Inhumans was not MCU. That was when MCU was basically still pissing on the TV properties. So, Thor: Dark World wasted Christopher Eccleston badly. Yes, he did. That's it. But I still like the movie. There were still some good parts. You can still glean a lot of good stuff from these movies. So, all right, children. It's been 45 minutes, and I'm tired. I'm
trying not to.
And I miss you guys. We love you dearly. You're trying not to yawn. So we'll be back again next week. We're not sure why.
We don't know what we're doing next week.
We never know, but there's a really good list, and we will follow it profusely. Let's see. Have you ever read about the wheel in the middle of the wheel, the color barrel, the terrible ringing, the fire that unfolded in Ezekiel?
What?
Wesley Curry is trying my patience right off the jump.
Yeah, we're both leaning in.
Yeah, we're both reading this, and I think that just melted my brain.
Yeah. Reported that comment.
Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate you guys. All right, friends, you know the deal. We miss you guys already. Keep following it and talk to people. Let them know that the volunteer application is open. Please push it. Push it real good. Get it out there. I need to recruit a whole army to help us in September, and I want you to be a part of it. It is great to see you all. Have a great week. Have a safe week. And guess what?
We'll see you next week.
We'll talk to you again next week. Excelsior!